So, should you pay off your mortgage before you retire? It's one of those questions that sounds simple, but the more you think about it, the trickier it gets. On one hand, the idea of heading into retirement completely debt free sounds amazing, right? No monthly mortgage payments, no interest, no stress, just freedom. But then the doubt starts to creep in. Will I have enough left in savings to pay it off? Is it smarter to invest that money instead? What if I need access to the cash later and it's all tied up in my house? And just like that, what felt like a clear goal turns into a gray area that's hard to navigate. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. I get this question from clients all the time. So in this video, I'm going to help you cut through the noise and make a confident decision by walking through exactly when it makes sense to pay off your mortgage before retirement and when it might not. Hi, I'm Dan Shevlin. I'm the president of 2020 Financial Group. I help people across the U.S. turn their retirement savings into real-life income strategies, ones that are tax smart, flexible, and built to last. And this question, should I pay off my mortgage or keep it, comes up nearly every retirement plan I build. So if you've been stuck on it, this video is going to give you some clarity that you need. And hey, if you find this kind of content helpful, take a second to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below with your take on this. I'd love to hear what you're thinking and help where I can. Let's dive in. Number one, what's your mortgage balance versus your retirement savings? All right, let's start with the most practical question. How much do you still owe on your mortgage, and how does that stack up against everything else you've saved? Because the decision really isn't about the mortgage in isolation. It's about how that debt fits into your overall financial picture. Let me give you two very different examples I see all the time. Example one, let's say you're about to retire, you've saved $1.5 million across your 401k, Roth IRA, and your brokerage accounts. And you have $40,000 left on your mortgage. In this case, paying off probably won't disrupt your plan. You've got plenty of cushion. It may even simplify your cash flow and give you confidence. Example two, let's say you've got $300,000 saved and your mortgage balance is still $120,000. Paying it off might feel good emotionally, but now you've wiped out 40% of your retirement savings, and unless you've got other income sources or a rock-solid pension, that move could leave you house-rich but cash-poor. You've essentially traded flexibility for certainty, and in retirement, you really want both. Here's what I tell clients. Let's look at what paying off your mortgage would actually do to your financial plan. Would it put you in a tight spot with cash reserves? Would it force you to take a large withdrawal from your IRA or trigger a tax hit? Would it delay your ability to retire altogether? Or would it reduce your monthly expenses and help your retirement income stretch even further? You have to look at the ripple effect of this decision, not just the feeling of being debt-free. Because owning your home outright can be a great goal. How you get there matters just as much as whether you get there. Number two, what is your interest rate? This is a huge one, and honestly, it's where a lot of people are surprised. Because when we talk about whether or not it makes sense to pay off the mortgage before retirement, you can't ignore your interest rate. That number matters more than most people realize. Let me explain. If your mortgage is sitting at 6.5% or even 7%, which is the case for some recent buyers or refinancers, then yes, paying it off might be a very attractive option. There's a guaranteed return of 6 or 7% by eliminating the interest. But what if you locked into a 30-year mortgage at 3.25% back in 2020, or even 2.75%? Now the decision gets a little bit trickier. Because think about it. Where else in life are you going to be able to borrow money for 30 years at under 4%? That's practically free money when you compare it to long-term investment returns. And I know some people will say, yeah, but the market is unpredictable. I'd rather just pay off the house. That's a fair point. But here's the counterpoint. If your portfolio over a 10, 15, or 20-year horizon can reasonably earn more than 3 or 4% after tax, then keeping your low-rate mortgage and letting your money grow actually put you in a stronger position overall. You're not just thinking in terms of I hate debt, you're thinking in terms of the opportunity cost. What's the smartest thing I can do with this dollar? And here's the other side of it. If you're going to pay off the low interest mortgage, ask yourself why. Is it because the payments feel like a burden? Is it about the emotional freedom, or is it just to simplify things? All these are valid reasons, but you want to be clear on the trade-offs, because even a low-rate mortgage is still a cost, but so is giving up the potential compound growth. That's why I always run a side-by-side comparison for clients. One scenario where we do pay off the mortgage, and another where we invest the difference. And more often than not, once you see those numbers over a 25-year period, it changes how you feel about rushing into zeroing out that balance. Number 3, how does it affect your monthly cash flow? Now let's talk about something that really hits home when you're about to retire: monthly cash flow. Because here's the truth. Retirement income isn't just about how much money you've saved. It's about how smoothly that money turns into income, month in and month out. So even if paying off your mortgage doesn't make sense on paper, sometimes the feeling of getting rid of that monthly payment, it's worth it. Let me walk you through what I mean. Say your mortgage payment's $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year. And now you're looking at your retirement income plan thinking, can I comfortably cover that mortgage payment every single month for the next 10 or 15 years without stressing? If the answer is yes, easily, you've got pension income, investment income, maybe even Social Security already turned on, then great. There's no problem. But if the answer is that payment's going to be tight or worse, I'll have to pull from my portfolio every year just to keep up with it, then it might be worth looking at a payoff strategy. Because here's what I tell clients all the time. Retirement is easier when your fixed expenses are lower. That doesn't mean you have to eliminate every payment in your life, but if removing your mortgage lets your retirement income go further without draining your liquidity or spiking your taxes, it could really be a smart move. Let's take it a step further. Even if you don't pay the whole mortgage off right now, you can still build a cash flow friendly plan, like making extra principal payments while you're still working, setting aside a lump sum from a bonus or inheritance or a taxable account, or maybe even using a payoff bridge from your investment portfolio once you're fully retired and past those high income years. I've had clients do all of those, and the key is they planned for it. They didn't just wing it, drain their IRA in 1 year. And on the flip side, I've had plenty of clients keep their mortgages into retirement because it didn't hurt their cash flow, and it let their investments keep growing. So the big question isn't just, should I pay off the mortgage? It's, can I afford to keep it and still live the way I want to? That's the cash flow lens. And it's one of those most powerful filters you can use when making this decision. Number 4, what is your timeline? This is one most people overlook, but it's critical. How many years do you actually have left on your mortgage? And how does that line up with your retirement date? Because the answer to that question can completely change your strategy. Let me give you a few real-world scenarios I see all the time. Scenario 1, you're 2 years from retirement and the mortgage will be gone around the same time. In this case, you probably don't need to mess with it. You've got momentum. If your payment isn't stressing your budget right now, it's probably easiest just to keep doing what you're doing, let it run its course, and retire with it fully paid off without having to make any big moves. Scenario number 2, you're retiring in 2 years, but you have a mortgage that has 15 years left. Now we need to talk. Carrying that payment into retirement for another decade and a half could put a real drag on your monthly income, especially if your retirement income is already tight. In that case, we might look at building a payoff fund before you retire, using part of a taxable account to wipe it out, or even refinancing to a shorter term while you're still earning, just to reduce the interest and line it up better with your retirement date. Scenario number 3, you're already retired and the mortgage is still hanging around. Now, this is where things can get delicate. If you're pulling income from IRAs or 401ks to cover a mortgage payment every month, you're not just paying off your home, you're paying taxes on every dollar you withdraw. So that $2,000 payment, you might have to pull $2,600 or even $2,800 a month out of your portfolio just to net the amount after taxes. That's a slippery slope, especially if you're trying to keep your withdrawals sustainable for the next 25 plus years. So here's the takeaway. The closer your mortgage payoff date is to your retirement date, the simpler this decision usually becomes. But the further apart these two timelines are, the more you need to think proactively. And that's why I always tell clients, don't just think about whether you can afford the mortgage today. Think about whether you want it hanging around 10 years from now. And when your income, your taxes, and your lifestyle might look totally different. So should you pay off your mortgage before you retire? There's no one-size-fits-all answer here. But if you walk through the right questions, your balance, your interest rate, your cash flow, and your timeline, it gets a lot easier. Some people feel great retiring completely debt-free. Others are better off keeping their mortgage and putting their money to work elsewhere. It all depends on your numbers, your goals, and your comfort level. And that's what we help clients do every single day. Look at the full picture, not just one piece of it, and build a plan that actually works for real life. If you're still not sure what's right for you, let's find it out together. Book a call with me using the link below. We'll walk through your mortgage, your retirement income strategy, the tax impact on those different options, and how to make the decision that works best for your long-term plan. And hey, if this video helped, go ahead and like it, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Let me know, are you planning on paying off your mortgage before you retire? Or are you leaning towards keeping it? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.